June 16th Ortelius outreach meeting. So, what do we have happening?
I'm just taking attendance right now. Let me get this done.
Okay.
Arvin is not here today. Jean is here. Arvin's not here. Tony's here. I'm here. Steve's here. Utkarsh is not here. Okay. All right. So just to follow up from last week, one of our group tasks was to decide what the topic would be for our next job seekers webinar. And I did, in fact, do my best to sort of recirculate the blog as well as the second webinar we did. So we'll see if that brings the numbers up. I think we were a little over, maybe around 100 for Daryl's, and for the panel, we were around 50 or 60 views. So did anybody come up with a great idea for a job seekers webinar?
So we've done one on how to spiff up your LinkedIn profile.
Yep.
And got good response to that. And then one
that was the best one. I think that was a very good webinar. It really was.
So I'm interested how many people actually changed their LinkedIn profiles based on that.
I did.
Yep, I did.
Jing did.
Yep.
I think Sasha, did you do some tweaking to yours?
Yeah, I did a lot. Yeah, fixed
I
it
did
a
a
lot.
lot.
Made a huge difference. Yeah.
Yeah. I even, we all did, got recommendations. I was looking around. Most of us have some recommendations now.
And I managed to bump it up my connection over 500 now.
Really?
in 2 weeks time, sorry.
That is amazing. Seriously, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I have mine.
look at, I only started using it probably a year ago, so.
I'm gonna see it. For some reason, I am signed out. I'm gonna see if mine bumped up.
Should be, because I know most of my friends, they all long time ago over 500 connections, but mine was lingering at 30 to start with.
Well, yeah, you've got over 500 connections. You need to boost your recommendations a bit.
Well, I got quite a lot already. I think over 10, right? Recommendation. I don't know.
Recommendations. I think I see 8.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's
Sure.
pretty good. Yeah, but
Hey.
so on this call, share each other's, do recommendations for each other. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, so that's one where several of us have done that, and it makes a difference when people look at your profile, no question. Okay, so we did that one.
So I broke 12,000.
Wow.
12,000
That's
connections.
amazing.
Yeah,
There you go.
I have 12,069 followers. Yeah, so it did. It brought me up by about 300. Yeah, it's that was a really, really extremely helpful webinar that he did. And then the follow-up was so good because they talked about how they use LinkedIn and how carefully they look at it.
Yep. So that one was really good. What I'm wondering is, so we've covered those. We have Jing is the one who gets far and away the most credit for this. On the events and resources page, we've got this sort of toolkitty kind of thing with a lot of stuff to explore, take a look at. I wonder if the thing to do might be simply talk about tools and resources for job seekers, and we can base it on the work that's already been done. I'm looking at the page right now, and we've got, let's see, we've got resume services, we've got, Jing, I don't think you put in anybody on, okay, there is the one on reality of tech interviews from Platform and Pragmatic Engineer. There are some people that were in, I think what I sent you, who post videos on, what to say when they ask you something in an interview and so on. But what do you guys think about just running people through the resources?
I think it's a great idea. I do. I wonder if we could find somebody to do it that was from one of the tools that you can use.
We could certainly ask them. Jing, have you got that list I sent you?
Yeah. But I haven't visited all of them, so that's why I'm not
No,
sure.
I think it
Yeah.
might be a more potent request if it came from someone like you, Tracy, than say me or Jing.
So,
Yeah.
They will
so,
look at titles.
so there's one of the little resources I put out there was Swooped, which is an AI writer for your resume, and also they have a job board. And there's a paid edition, so because they think they have a paid edition, we may be able to get a rep to kind of do a demo for us.
What was it called, Steve? Swoop?
Swooped.
Swooped?
I think
Okay.
swoop.io or swoop.ai.
Okay.
But that may be, since it's paid, we can probably get one of the sales reps or an SE to give a demo around that.
Yeah, there must be somebody who tries to sell it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's the
exactly.
reason why I bring it up, because whenever somebody's trying to sell something, they're happy to do a demo for you for free.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'll check it out. I'll see if we can. And when do you think we should do this? You think we should do this in July? It's getting pretty close. We're already in, June. I hate to do things in August, so should we do it something in early September?
Yeah,
My
I think so.
suggestion would be, I think Jing and I are both saying the same thing, early September.
Yeah.
September,
Because
okay.
you're going to have people, in England, everybody's trying to guess which day it's going to be sunny so they can go out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Well, it's a Sunday, nobody will be staying home. Everybody just get a bit of sunshine, help to boost
Yeah.
our vitamin D.
look, it's
Okay.
25 Celsius and there's not so many clouds. I have to get out.
Yep.
Reach out to
At
Swoop.
least 20 minutes. That's what you can get to play.
We're in New Mexico. If it's 25 Celsius, we're putting on heavy coats.
All right, when I get back from Denver, so our next call, everybody remind me that I'm supposed to do this, even though it's going to be in the notes. Tracy action.
Well, and Jen, can you support Tracy on that?
Sure. Yeah. Just fire
All
my
right.
way, Tracy, if you need anything.
Okay,
Yeah,
and give me a
I
shout
think,
too if you do.
yeah, I'll be okay. I'll be able to, I think I'll be able to pull this off fairly easily.
Okay, but if you want somebody to pick up some of it, Jing and I have both volunteered. I
Okay.
think what we volunteered to do is point to Sasha.
So the next topic is Jenkins adoption. I thought we had a really great call in our last call, and we identified a potential way to make it easier to build these adoptions around the open source tools from the CDF, which we really need to achieve. This is going to be important for us. And the discussion was being able to just pull in an SBOM and pull in maybe I think we said, how and why, how we should generate the SBOM. I guess we didn't really,
I think
we didn't
Steve
go
wanted
into
a
it.
WAV file, right? And then I think we'll have it get us connected with Mark White. So is it Wheat or White? Sorry. But I think he sent us the WAV file And then I think the repository, we're still not quite sure where they hosted the infrastructure. So Steve, that's the next question I'm going to follow up. Are you ready to meet them? Like, I know today probably is too late, so might be Thursday evening. Is that works out for you?
This week
Is
would be too hard, so if we do it next week,
okay, next
Mm-mm.
Thursday then. Let's aim for.
No, don't do it next Thursday. Do it after,
so it has to be 2 weeks.
yeah.
2
Because
weeks.
we have this
Okay.
conference that's kind of getting in the middle of
And
things.
Mark's going to be at that conference too. So Steve,
Oh,
you
so I
can,
may just ask him in person.
I was going to say, he's going to be there. Maybe you sit down with him and chat with, and if that's the case, then you could go ahead and try to do something, Jing, if you want to reach out to Mark, see if you can get Mark on a schedule with Steve while they're together in Denver, and then they can add you to a Zoom meeting.
Okay. All right, that's fine then. What's the date? Did you mind share which particular dates you're going to be in Denver?
Do it on, let me tell you a good day for Steve. Let me look at his calendar real quick because he's got meetings and presentations. Let's see if you can do it on, try to do it on Wednesday. Steve has a talk at 10:45. So that
Denver
talk will
time, I
go
guess.
to, that'll talk will go from to like 11:15. So see if you can do it on Wednesday at 11:30 Mountain Time.
Wednesday, 11:30. That will be what dates? That will be next week or the week after?
The
So it will be
25th.
June the 25th.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, I'll yeah, get in touch with Mark then.
And if that's the case, if he's available, we'll figure out a place to meet. And
Yeah.
Steve will go ahead and just set up the Zoom meeting and work. He and Mark can figure out where to meet, and then Steve can bring you on a Zoom.
Sure. All right, I do that.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't think I get in any information about this Jenkins X or something. He doesn't know about that, right?
It'll be just Jenkins.
Okay. So scope for now is just Jenkins then.
Yep.
Cool. Thank you.
So, so Jean, you said you now know where the war file is.
I think so. I had something in the email, right, Steve? The Word file. I think yeah,
Yeah.
he shared it as well.
Yeah.
So, Steve, what does she need to do to play with that war file and see if she can generate a SBOM from it? Are there tools that she should look at?
I don't know for either it would be Trivy or SNCC would be the two tools, but I don't know if they work against a war file.
So, Jing, you want to spend some time looking? I think we should create some issues for her so she can start getting some pull requests. Yeah, Steve, could you create an issue that says we need to identify a tool that can reverse engineer a war file and create an SBOM?
Yeah, I'll create
And then
those.
assign it to Jing?
Yep.
So Jing, that would, I think, be your next step in this process is just, if you know where the war file is, let's start playing with it and see if we can't get a SBOM out of it using some of the tools.
Okay, I'll try that.
And then if you have a successful one, what I suggest you do is check that SBOM in response to the pull request, so
Okay.
that we can all see what's in it.
Okay. Chekhov. Okay. So one is trivia snake, one is Chekhov. Yeah.
It'll be Chekhov is a different tool.
Okay.
So it'll be Trivy
Yeah.
or SNCC, SYNK.
SYNK. Okay.
Do you think that Chain Guard has anything?
No, they don't do any scanning.
By the way, it's SNYK.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, SNYK, like you're sneaking.
Oh, okay.
And what about JFrog or Sonotype?
You'd have to upload the artifact to their repository.
How about Anchor?
That is a SNCC.
No,
Or
Anchor is
no,
a company.
Anchor's Trivy.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Are
Well,
those Unix or Windows software?
Both.
Okay, yeah, I can work with Windows.
Yeah, they should
so
have a.
just, just do some research on it. There may be some other tools out there that we don't know about. Sometimes you can find tools out of universities
Yep,
that they've been working on, and just to see what you can find. So
sure.
that's going to be the first step anyway. If we can't do that, it means that we'd have to write something, which would be a bigger project. But let's see what we can find.
Okay.
And try CDX
And
Gen
then
or just, yeah.
It looks like there's another one specific to a war file that's out of the Eclipse Foundation.
Yep, I tried that one. Yeah, I'll have a look as well. I'll pick the easiest one.
Yeah.
and then Cyclone DX has something.
Yeah,
No.
Sasha
What
just shared. No?
Cyclone DX will have a plugin into the Maven POM file, which is totally different.
Okay. And Steve on June 25th to discuss deployment data.
I'm sorry, it's not SNCC. It's SIFT. SYFT. Sorry, that's the one.
SYFT, okay.
Yeah, instead of SNCC.
Now,
Okay.
we already use SIFT. That's what we're already using for
Yes,
generating an SBOM, but not reverse generating an SBOM.
correct. As part of the build step, we go through and use SIFT to generate the SBOM of the Docker image.
Okay.
All of these will work if you have access to the Git repo. So that may be the roundabout way would be to go from the published war file to the commit back to the repo to get to check out that version of the Git repo source code to
So
then
wait, say that again.
you go from the war file will be released in like GitHub, and when they do that it'll be tied to a commit, and then from the commit you can go, or tied to a tag, so go from the war file release to a GitHub tag to a commit to the checkout command that you want to pull the code out with, and then you can run SIFT or Trivy. So there's a way to get there. It's just a clumsier way to get there.
I see. So what you do is you find out where the war file was built, and you're not actually reverse engineering the war file. You're just going back to its source.
Right.
And then you generate the SBOM from there.
But
Correct.
CDX Gen has support for war, right? I mean, you go to the GitHub, it just says war file support can generate an SBOM from a given war file. You just type CDX Gen app.war and it does it.
Yeah, there may be other tools now. I didn't look at CDX Gen lately.
Well, and please, Sasha, you're such a resource for tooling. If you find something, share it with Jing. I just put all that what you just put in there in the doc.
Cool. You're just trying
Thanks,
to generate an
Sasha.
SBOM, right?
Yeah, we need the most complete SBOM that we can get.
This is also new for me. I didn't know CDX Gen could do war files too, but according to their GitHub, it supports it.
Yeah, it can generate war file support. It can generate a BOM file from a given war file.
Yeah.
So, and then yeah. So that will be your task. This is sort of crossing between architecture and outreach, but because the Jenkins outreach will be so important, getting this particular part done, could be a way to not only do just Jenkins, but any project that we would like to work on, right? If we have a repo.
Yes, and that's typically the missing part is you have no way of connecting a release to a specific commit in a specific repo.
Okay.
So if you look at the NPM world, the node world, it's optional to put the website in the package file. So you have no way of getting the repository where the module came from. It's
Okay.
totally optional. So that's where this is
Well,
why
so
it's a challenge.
So keep some of this in mind for that other project we're working on, okay? We need to highlight some of this as challenges. All right. Okay, I think that takes us to the two topics that we are working on at the moment. Do keep in mind that we will, Christmas comes really fast. So when we hit September, we'll have that webinar, and then we'll be focused on getting our holiday party together, depending on how big we want to do it. I think last year we just did one keynote and maybe a couple of presentations. But just keep that in mind that we're still going to pound along keep our cadence of every 6 months doing something that's like either, we do Secure Chain Con in May and then do a party in December. So don't let that get off your radar too quickly. It comes fast. Any other topics that we should be covering that I have forgotten about? And remember, if we're able to start, if Jing's successful, then we'll be able to get our logo on the Jenkins site as a tool that is directly supporting Jenkins and its vulnerability management. That's kind of what we're shooting for. On another note, and this goes again, crosses more with what Utkarsh has been doing. I suggest everybody look at, let me see if I can find it. Here. Zapier.
Can you put the link in the chat?
Yeah, let me find it. Zapier MCP server. Let me find it again. Brian Dawson did some work on finding what other companies are doing with MCP servers, like Utkarsh is working on. Let me just share my screen. I don't think it's going to be useful, but I'll share it anyway since I'm talking about it. So here's Zapier. So Zapier now is that, if you don't know what Zapier is, if you're in the marketing area, it's something that all the marketing people would use to connect up like HubSpot or Salesforce, your website where you're trying to have gated content and generate leads. And Zapier was like a plug-in tool that you would use to write things so you could do the connection. Not exactly straightforward, but got the job done. So they have an MCP server now that they support 8,000 apps on. So you never have to write your own connector anymore. You can just use the MCP server to do the work and have your own little context window, I suppose, to make the connection. The reason why, and then there was another one called something pieces, active pieces. So active pieces is doing something similar. And they have, I can't remember how many he said, they have like 1,200. They're competing with Zapier now on an MCP server. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing it up because what Utkarsh has begun to do is a very, very basic MCP server around DevOps actions. I'm going to be curious about the CD events and what they're doing, but it seems to me that if we can create connections and marketing tools, I have to ask myself, why are we still doing Jenkins? So we have to keep this in mind as well. Even though Jenkins will not go away fast, but I think its days are going to be numbered. But people are still using the mainframe.
I totally agree with you by any chance, or by, not that it matters, but I think
I
you're
agree
right on
too.
there.
Yeah, so based
Yeah.
on what I've seen, what Utkarsh has done is you would load up a bunch of different MCPs. So one for GitHub, one for GitLab, one for Jira, one for Docker, one for Ortelius, and you add that all those into your tool set, and then you from there you would write your prompts to tell it what you want it to do using those tools. So I think it's very interesting and the possibilities of what you could do by connecting these things through your prompt. So it has a lot of potential, and basically CD events goes away. And you could potentially say, given this Jenkins file, run these steps from this Jenkins file. And you'd have a MCP for, you wouldn't even need an MCP for Jenkins. You just need to ingest that as part of your context to run in. So it's an interesting idea. Some of the things that you'd have to kind of set up or give the AI bot would be, where do you want it to run the commands? Do you want it to run on in Kubernetes? Do you want to run it in as a GitHub action? Do you want to run it locally? So you have to give it some resources to work with and the connections to those resources. But I think it's totally doable
do
to make
too.
it happen.
So anyways, I just bring it up because it's something that we should continually think about. Because the work that Jing's doing, what if we had an MCP server that would make that happen a lot easier? But I think we have to figure out how to do it first before I think we can ask AI to do it. So I think we're on the right track, but let's just keep in mind what an MCP server might do to CI/CD in the future. And it may expand just in general how all platform engineering is done. Because a lot of platform engineering is workflow based. And so what we're really talking about is just a different way of having a job scheduler. Because that's really all Jenkins is a job scheduler. So Sasha, please let us know if you have any insights on what the CD events team is up to. I know that there may be some talks on it. I know Ben has alluded that Apple has been coming up with some new ways to address it. So I'm kind of looking forward to it, because if we can be part of the disruption of CI/CD, and when I say that, something has to keep track of the logs, something has to keep track. I mean, the Jenkins itself could keep track of what was executed. But if we could continue to gather data off of it, having an MCP server where we could connect into, it just makes it easier to adopt our tooling.
Wasn't CD events, was that donated to the CDF? Well,
It was initially it was just a working group, kind of like the CI/CD cybersecurity team that Kate's working on. And then they decided to make it a project.
Somewhere that the original company that donated it, or maybe it's another tool. I'm getting confused.
There's
Wants
really
it back now.
there's not a lot of code right now. It's just specs.
Okay.
And I don't know if
Then
the
I must be
specs
thinking of something.
yeah, the specs may be able to be used for this, what they're doing, but I'm not sure. I'm guessing the specs would be built into the MCP.
Oh yeah.
So we'll find out more next week. I'm going to be asking a lot of those questions, and we are having a working group. I called it a focus group that we were given the lunch. We were given the ballroom for lunch. So, and that's going to be out on Tuesday from 12:30 to 12:30 to 2:10, I think, on in Denver. And I'm gonna ask people about CD events, and if they're looking at revamping and re-architecting their CI/CD pipelines. Be very curious to know what industry's thinking about all this. Okay, I think that's all I have. Everybody, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to start my Monday off seeing friendly faces.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. I'll see you guys out there.
Okay, looking forward to it.
Bye.